This is the Stars and Stripes in 7, your online source for editorially independent news and information for the U.S. military community. I'm Lamont Easter. U.S. special operators are continuing with a mission to build up an elite fighting force in Ukraine, even as Russia threatens invasion with its thousands of troops, tanks, and artillery massed along their borders. The Stuttgart-based Special Operations Command Europe has quietly operated out of a training center outside of Kiev for the past several years. The mission's focus is assisting Ukrainian forces to defend more effectively against Russian aggression. The presence of U.S. special operators is part of a small American military contingent that remains in Ukraine. Whether they would remain there in the event of an invasion isn't clear, but the Biden administration has already ruled out the direct involvement of U.S. troops in any conflict with Russian forces in Ukraine. Still, there could be special implications for the U.S. Special Operators mission should a Russian invasion turn into an effort to occupy large parts of the country. The Defense Department has agreed to spend approximately $52.5 million to operate and maintain observation blimps at the U.S. border with Mexico as part of an ongoing mission in the region. The original request to support the blimps called for about 1,500 additional troops to deploy to the border mission that supports the Department of Homeland Security and began in 2018. About 2,400 troops are now deployed along the southern border, but up to 3,000 are authorized to deploy through the end of September, based on an agreement signed by Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. The service members are a mix of National Guard and active duty personnel who work alongside Border Patrol agents in a variety of support roles that allow those federal agents to conduct direct border security. But the DHS request approved by Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks only calls for the operation and maintenance of large blimps or persistent threat detection systems for assisting in detecting and monitoring drug smuggling operations. Turning to the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs initiated a pilot project to automate part of the process for reviewing benefit claims, a change that the agency says has the potential to shorten the time that veterans wait for decisions from 100 days to 1 or 2 days. The VA created a new team to handle the project called the Office of Automated Benefit Delivery. The announcement comes as the agency is experiencing a surge in backlog claims. Under the program, a computer algorithm pulls data from the Veterans Health Administration about veterans, including their military service, claims history, and medical treatment. If there's enough medical evidence already in the system, the automated process will draft a proposed rating decision. On average, the traditional claims process takes about 100 days. Since the pilot project started, the average time to make a decision on those claims is 2 days or less. The process takes about 18 days if it's necessary for a veteran to get a compensation and pension exam. The Pentagon announced recently that the Navy has awarded a small New York firm a $20 million contract to develop a compact next-generation mercury-ion atomic clock. Frequency Electronics, Inc. of Mitchellfield, New York, is developing the clock for Navy applications aboard ships, aircraft, and spacecraft. The contract calls for precision timepieces suitable for Navy platforms that require better clock performance in environments that include roll, pitch, yaw, heave, and vibration. The contract also calls for a compact version of the 11 by 10 by 9 inch deep space clock. Frequency Electronics products are used in satellite payloads and in other commercial, government, and military systems, including command and control, electronic warfare, missiles, manned and unmanned aircraft, and wireless networks. The completion date for the atomic clock is scheduled for January 2024. The University of New Mexico was one of a handful of universities tapped to be part of a new Air Force effort to increase academic perspectives in the development of technology for space. The Air Force Research Laboratory announced the winning teams for the Space University Research Initiative program. The University of New Mexico will have a presence on a team formed to tackle space logistics and mobility issues. Much of that work will be done at the Agile Manufacturing Center at the University of New Mexico Science and Technology Park, south of the main campus, which has cutting-edge computers, robotic systems, and 3D printing technology. According to the summary of the research project, the teams will have access to up to $1 million per year for the next 3 to 5 years. Much of the proposal by the space logistics team centers around creating technology so satellites can be upgraded, refueled, or repaired once they are already on orbit. One of the United States' last aircraft carriers powered by fossil fuels left Naval Base Kitsap in Birmingham, Washington, on a trip that will conclude at Brownsville, Texas. Commissioned in 1961, the carrier was one of 3 Kitty Hawk class carriers to serve in the Navy. The others were the USS America and USS Constellation, which went out of service in 1996 and 2003, respectively. Coming into service during the Vietnam War, the Kitty Hawk participated heavily in the conflict. In the span of just 2 months, between December 1967 and February 1968, the Kitty Hawk's aircraft flew more than 5,000 sorties that ranged the length of North Vietnam. In the decades following the Vietnam War, the Kitty Hawk deployed multiple times, including in support of Operation Restore Hope off Somalia's coast. In 1987, the ship returned to a Philadelphia dry dock, where it underwent an $832 million life extension overhaul that kept it in service another 22 years. In 1998, the ship relocated to Yokosuka Naval Base, Japan, where it remained for the next decade. The Kitty Hawk also participated in Operations Freedom, Southern Watch, and Iraqi Freedom. And that is all for this edition of Stars and Stripes in 7. I'm Lamont Easter, helping you stay connected.